So I was having this download about triggers, about certain people, chosen one, who inherited this, I don't know if we can say ability, but this energy, this natural energy that trigger everybody that they are in contact with. You're a walking trigger for people. You are a walking snitch also. And why? That you're doing this, intentionally or unintentionally. Your presence itself is just a trigger for people. Sometimes they don't really know why. You just feel it. And it gets worse when you speak and whatever you're saying makes sense and resonates. Because sometimes you will meet certain people, they feel like they had this position where people were looking at them as a wise counsel. And all of a sudden you come, and sometimes I'm also getting that you younger than the people that that also considered as wise counsel for a community, right? But the fact that you are younger and you speak with so much wisdom and clarity, it's always mind-blowing for people, because it's how come this young person have so much wisdom, experienced so many things that gave them all these nuggets of of knowledge, you know. And it's mostly what triggered them is your relationship with God, because they don't always see it when they see you. They don't always see your closeness with God. You don't probably look like someone that is religion, because it's not about religion. It's really about your relationship with God, right? And you don't always appear as someone that probably have faith. Like, it's something that has a specific image. People are different. Like, it's always about whatever you show, and they don't understand that you are someone who you never had to. You never had to exhibit your faith in a way, with wearing stuff, cross, or anything like that, because it's more like in a personal level. It's your you have this very intimate relationship with God. You speak to God every time. It's not something that it's not something that you have to put in your routine. It's every day, it's every second. You in your mind, you in your heart, and there's always God. And but you're not someone you're not loud about it. You're not like certain people are like, oh, Jesus, that, oh, yeah, praise the Lord, always, being loud. And there's nothing wrong about it. Everybody express their love for God or whatever, their own way. It's not about that. It's you value this relationship so much. It's more like you protect it. When we say like God is a jealous God, right? You also are kind of like a jealous believer. Like, your relationship with God, your connection with God is something that you protect. But you're not embarrassed about what you believe. You're not someone who's embarrassed about your faith or who you believe. Like, you're very clear about that. Don't get it twisted, okay? But you have a different way of experiencing, like of showing it. It's not something that people see when they first meet you, but when you speak and you start speaking words of the divine, words of wisdom, now all of a sudden there's a trigger, because most people who are very loud about their faith, they're not really truly believer. And you are like I was saying at the beginning, you are walking snitch too, because your presence and the way you speak, it's also exposing those who are more worried about showing off and being loud and saying all the words, all the right words, right? But the frequency behind it is not backed up. Do you understand? It's like, yes, if you only pay attention to the words and you don't pay attention to the energy that carries the words, you will be deceived by these people very easily. And that's why I say you are a trigger, because when you don't look like someone who carry the words of the divine until you speak. And when you speak, the frequency behind these words are always backed up by the divine. The frequency is high. It's different. It hits different. They can feel it. So now all of a sudden, yeah, it's people start acting different with you, right? Now all of a sudden people want to take stick and trying to beat you, but they want to do it in a way that is very subtle. It's never directly. It's always spiritual. It's always, you know, it's always in the ether with people. It's like it's never direct. People don't confront you directly. They never do that. No, but you can feel it because you're highly anointed. You know when the energy in the room changes. You know when someone changes and try to hide it, still with like smiles and acting kind. But you can tell that they were triggered by your presence. They were triggered by the fact that they uncovered that you are bigger than that, right? So that's what I was getting. It's like being a walking trigger to people, even if you're not being intentional about it. You're never intentional about it. It's just you standing your ground on what you know and who you are, and you respect your relationship with God, the divine, so much that you only speak when it's necessary, and when you speak, there's heaviness behind it, and they always going those who pretend will always hate it, because the problem is that now they try to hide you. They will, for example, you will meet people, and at the moment that they realize that, oh, okay, they get triggered, right? They start acting different. But you know what they do? Everything that you have said, they will go and say those same things to other people, pretending like it comes from them, and make sure that they never speak of you in a way to them. Like they try to hide you to make sure that they can use whatever you have spoken of, like whatever wisdom and knowledge that you have given them in conversation, or they will make sure that they will never tell your name. They will never say that it comes from you. You're the one who inspired them these words. Some of them will say the exact same words that you said to other people, pretending like it came from them. And they will make sure to hide you in a way. Like make sure that whoever they're talking to never meet you, or you understand? Like, I don't know if you noticed that these people will never, they like to be around you, but they will never invite you in certain places, or like they will never try to be too close to you, or you being close to the certain people that they know, because they've been using whatever you've been saying, or your persona, who you are, as a mask to these people, because they have to keep feeding the persona of being the wiser, the enlightened one, the chosen one. But the truth is that they go and meet other people, and they love to come back to you so they can, harvest this energy and whatever knowledge that you have, and just go spit it like it's their own. Anyway, walking trigger, a walking snitch. And this new season, you are going to be intentional about that now. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now you are going to be intentional about that. There's no need to hide. There's no need to hide. It's not like you were really hiding. Isolation is a part of your journey. It's always going to be a part of your journey. Um, but now you are going to be put forefront. You are going to be seen, and you also have to accept the fact that, and I think you did, that you will trigger people. Whatever you do, just being there, your presence speak to itself. Like when you stand your ground and you don't let anybody convince you of anything, and you just stand your ground because you understand that, you know, two can be right. Like whatever you are speaking can be right in your timeline, and but not apply to my timeline. Like you understand? Like we can be in the same place but still channeling two different timeline. And it's okay. It's okay. But anyway, for this new season, for this new beginning, 2025, it's going to be about you being intentional about that. It's time to snitch. Okay? It is time to snitch. It is time. It is time to tell your story, tell your side of the story. Yes. And you don't have to tell name, but you know what? We don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. We gonna drop names. We gonna be snitching because if they're going to be mad about you not even being, like intentional about it, just you being you and just, happy to share whatever knowledge that you have because you truly want people to be free, to free themselves. Well, now, like, we gonna tell our story and we gonna do it, and yeah, you know, nobody cares anymore. Anyway.